Atul Chaturvedi, the Executive Chairman at Sri Renuka Sugars. I'm told, Mr. Chaturvedi, you don't want to talk much about your company, but rather what this policy move will entail. So we'll try and stick to that. But thank you for speaking with us. So let's begin with that key point that the minister said, that Mr. Hardeep Puri said, that we will be sticking to the 20% target of ethanol blending by 2025. So let me begin by asking you whether you think it's achievable.
So first and foremost, I'd like to congratulate the government and the minister for reiterating something we thought was now on the back burner as far as the government is concerned. Because in December of last year, with elections looming ahead, they had banned the ethanol from cane juice as well as B-heavy. But the minister's reiteration that they are on target gives us confidence. It's like a whiff of fresh air. So whatever headwinds the industry was facing by way of ethanol not getting made from cane juice and B-heavy, now I think possibly that will be a thing of the past. So we welcome this decision. But as far as whether we will be achieving this during the current year or next year, that's $1 million question. What we are seeing as of this year, the government required something like 825 crore liters of ethanol for achieving 15% blending. Against that, till May of 31st, the figures we have, about 327 crore liters has been supplied, of which about 165 crore liters has come from the sugar sector and another 162 crore liters from the grain sector. So this year, their achievement till now is closer to about 12.5%, but I see no reason why they should not be able to achieve 15% in the balanced period of the year. Next year, if we do not have policy flip-flops like we had this year, then I'm sure we are on track to achieve 20% blending as per the Prime Minister's wish of achieving 20% by 2025.
Sure. Mr. Chaturvedi, if you could come in on the sugar production for the sugar year in the upcoming year. And what we have in terms of estimates is a potential decline in production. And that's the anticipation. Based on that, your view on how sugar prices could move, to what extent can we expect hikes considering the demand and supply situation? And secondly, what could that mean when for exports of sugar from India?
So first thing first, I'm not a brave man to start predicting next year's crop. In fact, we tried being brave last year and look what happened. The government panicked and they ended up banning exports. They ended up banning cane juice from into ethanol and B-heavy into ethanol, just to ensure that the sugar prices remain in check. This year, we would much rather not speculate or rather punt on what the crop's going to be. But having said that, let me just share with you that the monsoon this year has been absolutely on track. And we had very good pre-monsoon showers, maybe a little bit of a loss in acreage may have been experienced in Maharashtra, but that I'm sure is going to get compensated by higher yields and higher recoveries. So overall, I don't see the sugar crop numbers coming down next year, contrary to what some of the punters may actually be saying. And international punters are also probably saying something on those lines. So I won't bet on that. Now, whether the exports will happen or not happen, that's $1 million question. As of today, according to the numbers we've penciled in, India would end up having something like 8.6 million tons of sugar at the end of this sugar season, which is about something like 3 million tons higher than the opening stock. So it doesn't make much sense to keep carrying sugar and build on inventory and increase your interest cost. So we would expect the government should at least release 1 million or 1.5 million from for exports. So that should reduce the inventory levels. And we don't need to worry too much about the sugar prices because our industry is highly regulated. So I don't see any reason. But if push comes to shove, our first thrust should be on increasing ethanol and then on sugar exports. As it is, the sugar export values have come down and it is not as lucrative as it was about 3 to 4 months back. Yep.
Right. So, a twofold question here, sir. Firstly, do you have any expectations when it comes to restrictions on juice and B-heavy molasses for the next season? Do you think that there could be a relaxation here? And also, sir, a word on your expectation when it comes to FRP going ahead.
Reason why this ban on cane juice and B-heavy should not go away. There is absolutely no reason because we do not see sugar stocks inventories coming down and having an impact on the prices. And let me just reiterate that sugar in our country is absolutely inflation proof. If you really look at it, sugar and edible oils in our country have probably seen negative inflation. The inflation as far as our country is concerned is largely pulses and vegetables. So that is what is actually driving inflation, not sugar, not edible oils. So we would feel that the government also is aware of all these numbers because these are all government numbers. So there's no reason why this ban should not get lifted. And secondly, as far as next year's FRP is concerned, that has already been announced. But having said this, it's also important that the government actually raises the price at which ethanol is sourced by the oil marketing companies. In fact, it's an anomalous situation where ethanol made from maize is currently being sourced at closer to about 72 rupees a liter, and ethanol from B-heavy at 60, and from cane juice at 65. So I think the government needs to seriously look at jacking up the ethanol prices and bringing it at par with maize. And as far as this MSP is concerned, I think it's high time that MSP got raised because last 5 years, FRPs or the cane prices have been jacked up, and next year again is going to be jacked up. And there's been no increase in the minimum selling price. So I think it's important from the industry's perspective that this is institutionalized. So if FRP goes up, the issue price should also go up.
Okay, whether you can bring up prices then or not remains to be seen. Since that's, we'll get to that bridge when we cross it, since you're expecting that to happen around Diwali or so. But thank you, Mr. Chaturvedi, for speaking with us today. That was the management of Sri Renuka Sugar, giving us an industry view, actually, more than anything else.